just a bit challenging. That's what I do see. So, all right. So what we're working with in the past here is the Three of Pentacles, or Three of Cups rather. So the Three of Cups is really indicating here, getting together, spirits coming together, not necessarily spirits, but it's honestly like a union. People coming together, people gathering together. This is a very celebratory card, because this is people that support you. This is people that you connect with. This is usually, it can be, this is typically platonic energy, but I feel like this could also be a reunion, especially if you guys have been at a distance with your partner. You have a distance here. There could be even potentially be with your partner, like this, like I said, this could be a reunion, but because there may be a international across the world sort of distance. Like there's a very significant distance between you and this individual. Again, like I was showing up before, it could have been an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius that could be coming up. But I feel like predominantly Leo and Sagittarius, as well as Virgos, because there was Earth energy that we saw previously when we were shuffling. So I do get the sense here that there is this, in the past there was a reunion, you guys got together, there was some sort of reuniting between you and another person, possibly from a distance, like I said before. And it really brought the flow back. It really brought things together. And I feel like it really helped. It honestly really helped center you in a sense. Also, I feel like it proved to you that the impossible, or whatever felt impossible, was possible. That's what I feel like. And potentially meeting each other happened, and it just opened so many doors in a sense. But also it kind of calmed you down in a lot of ways. Now, at the present here, you have the Five of Swords. So there is this energy in regards to ruthlessness, getting things done, trying to do something. You want to be careful with this energy, especially because if you're trying to force something, it can potentially sabotage itself. You don't want to push too hard. You want to kind of come from a place of doing everything that you can that's within your boundaries, or that's within your moral code. Speaking of moral code, you also want to make sure that the people that you're involved with respect that moral code, because it can lead to empty victories, which empty victories can be that you may have to do something that you really wish you hadn't, or you may end up doing something that you didn't want to do because you wanted to get to a certain goal that may not have been worth it. So you got to be careful with that one. Now, with the Five of Swords, with this coming up, is like there's a definite struggle here. There's a bit of pushing yourself, and you may feel like you are, kind of dragging on the energies here, especially with this individual potentially. You guys could be having a lot of conflict, and has a lot to do with your confidence. I think it's affecting you emotionally, affecting you internally in regards to how you feel about yourself. And honestly, externally, you're trying to kind of look at what you can do rather than how you feel in regards to, solving the solution. But it's important to really look at how you feel and why you're feeling that way, so that way you can address why you have the Strength card here. And I feel like you already know, but it's about that taking care of your inner child, because here in the future, you have the Hermit, which really indicates you taking care of your inner child, really looking within yourself for the answers. This is also a time of really reflection and, looking within your heart, really, and to help you potentially make a decision that can complete a cycle. All right. So this reading is very interesting. It's almost like here in the present here, you are going through a difficult time with this person that you're with. Like they're just not seeing eye to eye potentially, or you're trying to make something happen here. I really feel like everything was perfect here. I feel like there's a bit of distance. There was a lot of traveling, but I honestly feel like this union that you had with this person really centered you, really put you in a place where you can feel calm, where you can feel at ease. And I feel like because you did everything that you could at the time, you felt at a flow. You were really enjoying the moment and being in the moment with this person. Now, this person could be, like I said, at a distance. You may have traveled to them, or there is a distance and you just met them, right? This could be for those of you that have started something new with someone. And I feel like for those of you that don't have anybody in your life right now, there may be that, there was this opportunity, or there was this, centered around people that, you care about. And it kind of helped you shift your focus, or shift this energy that you have that's keeping you from being able to truly enjoy yourself and truly enjoy your surroundings to be able to attract love. Now, presently, you have the Seven of Swords, like Five of Swords, excuse me, in your present. So, yeah, there is a bit of a struggle here. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at this really fast to see why you have the Strength card here. But it's almost, I feel like you're trying to get something, or there's something trying to be achieved at this time, and it's really showing to be difficult, more so than anything. Let's see, why is the Strength card coming up? The Tower. So something unexpected happened, okay? Something unexpected kind of showed itself, or there is this you're trying to get to a place where things are more stable, because the Tower can be a faulty foundation. And I feel like you're currently walking on, on broken glass. When I see the Strength and the Tower here, you're walking on broken glass, and you're trying to really figure out how much mess was created, so that way you can repair it, you can make it better and make it stronger. And I feel like the Five of Swords, this is a lot of combat, this is a lot of arguments, conflict. There's a lot of back and forth. But I feel like it's all to get to a place where things are stable, where it's truly stable and not, built on a foundation where it can crumble again. So I feel like everything kind of fell down to the ground, and you are going through a process of where there's a lot of brutal truth, there's a lot of honesty, there's a lot of, lines that that you have, and lines that your partner has, that you're not, trying to negotiate or trying to figure out what sacrifices you may need to make this foundation between you and this individual stable. Because here you have the Two of Pentacles, which indicates looking at the practical, what needs to be done, weighing the options. You're weighing the options here. And I feel like with this weighing the options, you're looking at what is practically necessary. What do you need? In the physical, rather than what do you need emotionally? Because I feel like with you looking at the emotional aspects of everything, you'll be able to figure out what option has the most value, what's truly more valuable to you. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. Like, you're trying to figure out what's of value right now. How do you go about making this foundation stable? Well, it's all having to do with internally, and it does lead to that, right? Because internally you look within, right? In the future you look within, rather. And when you look within, you are able to, figure out the things that you are stuck on, or you're looking at the things that you're stuck on. But there is other options. There's other ways you can proceed. I think, honestly, you're in a place where you're not consulting your emotions, because when it comes to romance and love, I want to see more Cup cards. I only see the Three of Cups. And honestly, I'm not seeing a lot of passion, a lot of fire, and you're a Leo, and I want to see that. I love to see passion. The only fire sign thing I ever actually see right now is Temperance in the world, because this could be Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus, fixed signs. But I just feel like, honestly, there's a lot of contemplation about what's stable and what's not. There's a lot of communication, which is always good, but there's not a lot of emotional attack. There's not emotion. The emotions are not in here, or not even considered somewhat when it comes to making decisions about what is needed in your relationship to make it work. So I feel like in the future you may end up looking within. You may be retracting. You may end up looking within yourself to figure out what it is that you want, what it is that you need to be more stable, to feel like you can express yourself, to be who you are, to really have what you want. And honestly, show you pretty much to see other ways of getting something, rather than seeing what you are dealing with, which is everything but your emotions. Because if you look here, the cups are empty, right? And this cup, you don't know what it's filled with. You don't know if it's a different liquid. You don't know if there's something different in here. But you don't know if there's even a cup behind you, if you're focusing on what's troubling you. And I feel like you have to look within yourself to see, you have to look within yourself to figure out what you want. I feel like the answer is with you right now. It's right there in front of you. It's just within yourself, if that makes sense, to be able to help you figure out what you need to do to be able to feel more grounded in your relationship. And externally, you have the World. So there is a successful completion here. There is something that's going to pan out in the best way. But it's going to require you to look within yourself, especially when it comes to this relationship, right? When it comes to relationships, it's very important to look in your heart in regards to what you want. And that for things to even come to, to fruition, for things to be able to work out. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys your romance angels here for this week. Very clear reading, guys. Wow. But it's not a bad energy. It's not bad. Nothing's going on. Nothing's serious. No, you know, it is an adjustment period. So it's all about change. And considering that you're a fixed sign, it's not an easy thing. I was just, you know, talking to Taurus about this last week, where they had to go outside their comfort zone and do something differently. And that's like that aggravation, that the irritation of having to do something differently and just kind of just doing it just because it's, you know you have to. And it's very uncomfortable. However, it will prove to be, you know, very rewarding in the end. But you have to figure out what it is that your heart wants before you can manifest. Because what are you going to manifest if you don't know what it is? Free yourself. Look at that. And it says it's time to take back control of your life. Okay? And that is very true. I feel like that's what the present and the future is talking about. Is that there is a lot of compromise that's being needed here. There's a lot of breaking of the foundation. There's a lot of revamping and reestablishing things, and honestly putting up new boundaries. That's a thing that's totally happening here. So if you guys can do that, right? And I really feel like you can. You have to look with, you know, outside of yourself. You have to look within yourself rather than outside of yourself. What needs to change physically can always be changed. But how do you feel? What do you want to feel? Because that's the most important thing. And as you understand that, once you know what you're feeling, I feel like the choices that you make in the present will be a lot easier. It will be so much easier for you.